so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, folks, welcome. We're here tonight. Some more Miller Family Trucking Esports Wotel series here with the Pro Late models. Eldora. This is a famed track here. I always say it's Tony Stewart's backyard, right? But Eldora's a unique track here, man. A lot of special events happen here, and Alex, I think it's gonna be cool tonight.
Yeah, it is. And again, you always got to talk about it. The top three in points, it's round 3 of points. So guys like Blake Majulis, remember, 2 tough weeks from the Pro Late models. So if he is in the pit area tonight, so now it's a question of can he regroup here, and if that regroup will happen. And I think Majulis is out on track. He just timed in with a 15.492, so we'll have to see who here can top John Ruggiero Jr., who's at a 15.445 for quick time here. Talk about John Ruggiero Jr., 4th in points coming into tonight. Hard charging effort in week number 1. And then last week, a better effort for John Ruggiero Jr. But top 3 in points, Evan C., Dylan Hauser, Richard Murtaugh Jr. Talk about consistency. Evan C., back-to-back wins, looking for the 33 to go 3 for 3 here tonight at Eldora. Hauser and Murtaugh as well. Top 5s in both of the first 2 rounds here, but qualifying is done. John Ruggiero Jr. holds on to quick time here, and heat race number 1 is on the grid.
Absolutely. We're going to put him up here. John Ruggiero Jr., like I said, out front. Nick Baum starting at 2nd. J.D. Brown there in 3rd. Dylan Hauser, another one that's been top-notch here so far, starting 4th. Tyler Berry there in 5th. Tyson Ulicki starting 6th. John Berry up in 7th. Brandon Gibbs up in 8th. Chris Horn rounds out the top here. And like you said, some guys to look at, you talk about John Ruggiero, finally maybe gets that monkey off the back here tonight, because he's had some dismal qualifying efforts and had to have come through the field. If he wins this heat, he starts in the front, which is kind of unfamiliar territory for him.
Not only that, Ruggiero Jr. and Hauser both in the top 5 in points in this heat race here. Hauser starting 4th. Dylan Hauser, not the qualifying effort that he wanted here tonight. But again, think about some of the guys here that you haven't talked about. J.D. Brown, I'm pretty sure this is his first start of the year in the DirtFan.com Pro Late models. Nick Baum, we saw him work his way through the field last week. John Ruggiero Jr. John Darby in attendance here as well tonight. So a lot of heavy hitters already in heat race number 1. But talk about the top 4, Ruggiero, Baum, Brown, Hauser. That's your front 2 rows, as I'm pretty sure the pace truck getting ready to head off. And we are green. Heat race number 1 is underway.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's a good start there. Ruggiero's trying to see if he can't win this thing, put it out front. Baum, Brown, Hauser. Remember, only the top 3, though, will go to the feature. So Hauser outside looking in. He's got a battle there with Brown as they go 2x2. Actually, it's 2x2 for the top 2 sets.
J.D. Brown now trying to sneak to the inside there on Ruggiero Jr. into turn 1 and 2. Almost 3 wide here as Nick Baum on the outside of Ruggiero Jr. side by side for 1 and 2, and also position number 3 and 4 here. That transfer spot up for grabs here between Brown and Hauser. Hauser going to have him at the line there, so Dylan Hauser now takes over the 3rd spot. Nick Baum, your new leader.
And up top, this is a high-style groove-style track. They're going to go up there on that high end where the wicked cushion ends up being. But you got Nick Baum. Look at this. And Ruggiero Jr. trying that low line, see if he can't get it rumbling. But everybody up top 3 kind of pulling away from the 4th place man of J.D. Brown, but it's still side-by-side from 1 and 2.
J.D. Brown there missed his mark, and it cost him dearly in time. But now a battle for the race lead. 3 wide almost here. Ruggiero Jr., Dylan Hauser, and Nick Baum going into turn 1 and 2. Baum around into Brown now, and that is going to bring out a caution flag. So first caution flag of the night is out, and it was contact between your race leader, Nick Baum, Dylan Hauser, John Ruggiero Jr. They were 3 wide there. And it just looks like I think Hauser might have got into the left quarter panels. Let's see here.
Watching this replay one more time. Yeah, like I say, we're watching to see now Baum. He's up top. Hauser's right there behind him. And does Hauser stick that nose in there? They go 3 wide. Let's say basically 3 guys racing for position there. I'll let race control handle it. But, man, wrong place, wrong time, and what a heartbreaker for Baum.
Yeah, so interesting to say the least to start off heat race number 1 as J.D. Brown, hopefully, as I don't know if J.D. Brown has damage or how much damage is on that 14 machine, but J.D. Brown going to benefit from that caution here, as well as Brandon Gibbs, Tyson Ulecki. Those guys are moving up through the field as well, especially with that caution.
See the wing on the back there, J.D. Brown now.
And Hauser is put to the back here, so now J.D. Brown going to be put into that 2nd spot here. So it's interesting to see it here. Brown, Gibbs, Ulecki all have a spot to get into a transfer spot here. John Ruggiero Jr. back to the top spot when we go back to the green flag as well.
I don't know if you just noticed it, but Hauser getting the EOL on that one. So obviously race control says that was a cause of Hauser there, and that's going to be a heartbreak. I mean, a huge shot to him tonight because he's going to have to run the LCQ unless just a miracle happens for him to get up to the top, but only 4 to go. Remember, the top 3 goes. That actually helps out Brandon Gibbs, though, and Tyson Ulecki.
So we'll be halfway here when we go back to the green flag. It's going to be interesting who can take home these 3 spots and lock in to round number 3 here at Eldora Speedway. John Ruggiero Jr. is going to set the pace here as pace truck heads off. No, it will not. Correction, as we extended the caution a little bit longer there. So we're going to go a few more pace laps around.
Yeah, I think Baum's going to go into the pits, but I'll tell you, so 2 cars really affected heavily in that one. Nick Baum and Dylan Hauser, 2 top hitters, now going to have to run the LCQ tonight. And hey, you've seen it's possible to do. Eldora's a heck of a lot different track than what we've seen in the last couple weeks. You're able to probably make a little bit more passes here, unless it becomes a topside heavy track. But I think it won't be too bad if they're in the back of the field, as long as they can make the feature.
So lights are out here. Pace truck is in. Green flag is back out. John Ruggiero Jr. sets the pace here, gets a good jump on J.D. Brown. Now the question is, can Brown hold on to a transfer spot? Brandon Gibbs to the inside there on Brown, side by side. They will go give it to Brandon Gibbs. So Gibbs now into that 2nd spot. Brown back to 3rd. Darby and Ulecki closing in here for that 3rd and final spot.
Yeah, you're talking about that battle there for 3rd, but they were heating up behind them. But it was almost 3 and 4 wide back here. You can do that. We've seen 5 wide happen again. Contact with a double O machine there. John Darby. That's actually Dylan Hauser trying to see if he can't storm through the field. If anybody can do it, he can do it. White flag. Problem is he's just going to run out of time. Tyson Ulecki's the man hanging on by a thread with J.D. Brown for that 3rd place spot. They bang.
Brown gets into it here. Will the green flag stay out? We will find out, as that's going to cost J.D. Brown a transfer spot here, and it looks like it will, because now it's John Ruggiero Jr. out in front here with, I think, 2 to go. It is Ruggiero, Gibbs, Ulecki, Dylan Hauser, as actually that was the end.
That was it, but I don't know if you missed it or not there, Alex. Hauser almost took that away from Ulecki. He threw a slide job in 3 and 4, got around him, and Ulecki was able to get back coming out of 4. What a finish to that one. It was awesome there, but you're right. What a way to start off the night as we go into heat race number 2. Dylan Wilson there out front. We got Blake Majulis going to start second this one. Richard Murtaugh Jr. third. Corey Robertson fourth. Logan Brass up in fifth. Chasen Luther there in sixth. Hunter Luginnis up in seventh. Justin Toll in eighth. And Michael Buck rounds the ninth place. So got some heavy hitter names in this one. Remember, only 3 places, though, go to the feature.
And, you know, for guys, you got to think, like we said about Majulis and now Hauser are going to have to go through an LCQ here tonight. It only gets more difficult as the season goes on. Bristol Motor Speedway, the last great Coliseum, is on the schedule next week. And then as well, it'll be Limaland, Lucas Oil Speedway, Lincoln Speedway, in my neck of the woods, the Porch Sitter country of Pennsylvania. And then we go to I-55 to end out the season here. Green flag is out here in heat race number 2.
Yeah, awesome. Richard Murtaugh, yes, we are live, OSR Network on YouTube, Facebook, and also UDTV. As we got trouble in the back. Oh boy, looks like it's Justin Toll. Let's go back and replay here and check it out. Well, contact happened back in the back. Toll was involved. Michael Park there. Looks like a little contact, and then Justin nowhere to go, and you got a couple cars upside down doing barrel rolls. Caution early.
It's not the start that I think we wanted here at Eldora Speedway, but you got to think, coming from last week in Lanier, this track a lot wider, a lot more banked, and it's a lot more, you want to throw a slide job a lot more often here, but you got to use your head as well here. This track can still be tactical. It's not like one of those, you can go full bore, but there's cars everywhere else around, so we'll have to see here if this is a trend for the night or if these guys can figure it out. Eldora Speedway, the Big E in Ohio. It's so hard to describe this racetrack.
Well, I mean, it's yeah, because it a lot of history to it, I'll tell you that.
I think the best description of it is big and a slide job. It's like Knoxville, like we said about Knoxville. Slide jobs are a must. Jack Hodenshield made the name of the Wild Child because he ran that wall. And I guarantee we're going to see guys run it here tonight. But Richard Murtaugh Jr. sent to the back here in heat race number 2.
Not sure why. Either he got into the into that. Going green.
Pace truck is off. Green flag back out here. Dylan Wilson, Blake Majulis is out in front there. Murtaugh Jr. has some time to get work done. His caution flag out yet again here. I'm intrigued to see if that was not the start that they wanted, or...
Probably it had to be, because I didn't see anybody spin out there.
So caution flag out yet again here. And I think it was just a messed up start for this one.
Got out there says go 3D Racing, Brandon Gibbs and Dylan Hauser. So, Brandon Gibbs in this one. Hauser was in the last one. He's going to run the LCQ. Almost snuck his way into that into the show, easy way, but we're gonna have to run those LCQs later.
And Brandon Gibbs was in that last one, but talk about this. Brandon Gibbs came from 8th to 2nd in that last heat. And again, we see it possibly in this one here with cars like Logan Brass already 5th to 3rd here. And then Chasen Luther is 6th to 4th. So they are moving up through the field here with that early caution. And there's still a lot of time left to go. Caution lights are out. We will go green out of 4.
We will, and you got Dylan Wilson, the man out front. Majulis there in 2nd. Single file start. Pace truck falls in. Heat race 2 here tonight. Green flag. Wilson gets a good jump with a Majulis. That's going to leave Brass back here. Trying to see if he can't get that low line going. We're not seeing anybody get it going all night long, but hey, don't count it out as there's contact behind them.
Green flag will hold here as it's going to be Dylan Wilson. Blake Majulis still 1 and 2 here. Logan Brass still going to hold on to the 3rd spot. The top 3 here, great start for those 3, and they are pulling away from the rest of the field. But talk about the mid-pack. Michael Buck, Richard Murtaugh Jr., contact cars around here, and 3 cars around hard.
Yeah, and that started all back there with Chase Luther. He was in the mix. He was up on the top. They were 3 wide for a moment, 2 wide. Back there just beating on each other. Let's see what happened again. Looks like the 27 machine there. But just a little bit, pinched the wall. 33 came up, yeah. Guys were just racing hard back here, and yeah, just contact. 0-2. Came up, next thing you know, boom.
So again, early on here, and yes, Rich Murtaugh, it is OSR Network on YouTube. So it's OSR Network on YouTube. That is the live stream there. Two cautions.
A lot of places, man, tonight.
Yeah, a lot.
Man. We got the dirtfan.com and the Miller Family Trucking Facebook, UDTV Facebook. I mean, so always give you the options out there.
I say just go through and like them all. That's right.
Appreciate everybody tuning in. I mean, you know, there's a Wotel series puts on some awesome shows. We go back green here, Heat Race 2. They put on awesome shows week in and week out.
So green flag back out here. Dylan Wilson back out in front. Battle for that third spot now as it's Hunter Luganis and Logan Brass going at it here. They're side by side into turn 3 and 4 here for your third and final transfer spot there as they are side by side closing in as well. Chase and Luther, Corey Roberts, they're right there as well here, but still it's going to be Logan Brass.
Yeah, and you've got Luganis right there on his back bumper, seeing what he can do. Oh, little contact up on the wall for Brass. And it's going to let old Luganis right there go on the inside. Steel slide job, almost just like we saw in the last heat race. And Brass was able to counteract it by going back again with his own slide job move. Seems like you're able to do the slide job, but then you lose momentum going up top.
There's a slide job yet again there, so these two battling it out. Keep an eye on Justin Toll. He is closing in on this third and final transfer spot battle between Luganis and Brass. Side by side they go again. Wilson, Majulis, those two are gone. Battle still for that third and final transfer spot. Logan Brass there blocks the bottom, now slides up top, but leaves a door open there for Luganis, and it's going to come down to the line here and taking home the third and final spot. It's Logan Brass. So Wilson with the win, Blake Majulis second. Logan Brass takes home that third and final transfer spot.
Wow, what a heat race. Heat race 3 here, man. So we got some other great names in this one. Chase Barbera going to be man starting out front. Tanner Tomasi there in second. Austin Sessions up in third. James Bradwell's in fourth. Michael Blessing starting in fifth. Jaden Sheehan there in sixth. Pat Erisman up in seventh. Jordan Mitchell starting eighth. And Chris Hill in ninth. So got a lot of heavy hitter names in this one, but only 3's going straight to the feature.
I think that front row is going to be the story to watch here. Barbera and Tomasi, that front row, don't count out, Blessings, Braswell, Sessions, Sheehan, Jordan Mitchell even in the back there. This, again, like every heat race in the pros and super late models, it is a stacked field, but Barbera and Tomasi up front, going to be fun to watch.
It is, and those are some names there, too. These guys know how to get it done. I'm a Barbera, Tomasi, Sessions, Braswell, Blessings. I mean, it is a who's who of names. Wow. Green flag, we're racing. Heat race number 3.
Green flag
is out. On the wall. Yellow's out because...
just right out.
Well, I don't know if you saw it. It just looks like on the start, maybe... It's kind of like one of those disconnect type of things. Maybe something happened to him, steering or something, because that thing just shot right off the bat. Right here on the replay, he just kind of hardest hits it, he goes right. Usually means like a on that one. Caution.
So yeah, I'm trying to. That was an interesting one there, I'll tell you that. That, to say the least, that was interesting to say the least here. And yeah, I think it was just, like you said, a disconnect of the steering wheel there.
Well, we're going to single file on this one. Go back green. Been a solid good night here so far. It's been a good season so far. Appreciate everybody out there tuning in and watching the season. Wotel back at it first.
Base truck is off. Green flag back out on the air here. Barbera, Tomasi going into turn 1 and 2. They will go. Barbera on the top side. Tomasi as well. Going to go bottom side here, side by side for that top spot already. It's Tomasi. It's Barbera into turn 3 and 4, side by side. Tomasi has him by a nose on the entrance, turn 3 and 4. Down the front stretch, give lap number 1. Still to chase Barbera.
Can anybody get that bottom lane going? We're not seeing anybody all night long. They've been able to throw some slide jobs coming from the bottom. Tomasi, he is down there checking it out, seeing if he can get it later on. Just can't quite get past Barbera. Meanwhile, Sessions holding on to the third place spot. So your top three kind of got some breathing room right now from Braswell.
As that battle still here for that race lead between Barbera and Tomasi. Sessions now has company. Here comes Braswell now to the inside there. So battle for the third spot here. A little bit of a late slide job there from Braswell. That's a battle for third now, though. As battle for the race lead, battle for third. Slide jobs returned here yet again. As now a three-car battle for that third and final transfer spot.
Got a battle up front. Barbera, Tomasi, they're going at it for the lead in second. You got Sessions back here trying to hang on to third. The final transfer with Braswell in tow, but Blessing's coming into the mix too. So we got a three-car battle for third. We got a two-car battle for the lead.
And yeah, Sessions, Braswell there going at it, but up front still slide job, short one there for the race lead. Barbera cuts underneath. He's going to hold it here. It looks like one more lap to go. Actually, 2 laps to go, I think, here as Barbera, Tomasi, Braswell, Sessions, Blessing, all cars battling it out for transfer spots. This battle for third still between Braswell and Sessions going at it here. White flag in the air.
White flag one more time. Tomasi, the man wanting to take this thing, show that he can run that bottom lane. Barbera has fallen back to second. They coming in, but Michael Blessing's hanging on to third place as they hit in a 3 and 4.
And taking home heat race number 3, it's going to be Tanner Tomasi. Chase Barbera in second, and coming from 5th to 3rd, Michael Blessings to take the third and final transfer spot. So yet again, you see a trend here going on. This track, unlike last week, sadly, this track's a little more racy and a lot easier to pass, and we've seen it in all 3 heat races, and heat race number 4 seems to be just as good.
We got the heat race here. We got Hunter Rich going to be out front in this one. Jordan Casey starting in second. Lucas Rourke there in third. Joshua Noonsbeck in fourth. Trey Mills starting fifth. Austin Hunter there in sixth. Darian Little starting seventh. Garden Cochran, I said it right, in eighth. Brady Thompson, ninth place spot here. So, yeah, boy, that last heat race was wild.
So I'm jealous of Rich Murtaugh right now. He's in Daytona Beach. I think that's what we need to do one of these weeks. Just go to Daytona Beach, sit on the beach, and call the race from the beach. That sounds like a thing. We got to talk to Steve about getting that settled up.
He's on his phone, man, with his feet in the sand and all. I mean, really? Oh.
But here we go, heat race number 4. Green flag is out here. Rich and Casey going at it. Here we go already. Rich going to go top side. Here comes Casey to the bottom side by side already for the race lead. Side by side, let's make it a 3-car battle now. Here comes Rourke, but it don't matter. Caution flag is out.
I think that's Austin Hunter. Well, let's see, just run around real quick. Back here and watch. Now, see. Yeah. Fell from 6 to the back, so I'm gonna say it's Austin Hunter, but else. One of those really quick spin styles. Somebody popped up, crashed over here. Replay here. Hunter's up there. Well, quite sure what happened then. Until a hot dog on the track.
And the one to keep an eye on here, Trey Mills, who is now starting 5th here. Not the best qualifying session from him. He's going to have to make it work here because he's in the top 5 in points after a great run last week. He's in the top 5 in points. Trying to keep that run alive here. Green flag back out on the air. Rich and Casey going at it again. Rich goes now to the bottom side. He's going to block the bottom from Casey. Now Casey side by side there with Lucas Rourke. Lucas Rourke looked good last week, as right now battling for a transfer spot.
You see Rich out front, man. He is definitely going off as he gets away from those guys, but the battle's happening right behind him and side by side. Rourke, Casey, those two guys going at it for second, third. But then Trey Mills, you talked about it. We've already seen some other top names having to run the LCQ. Could Trey be one of those? As they go 3 wide, that's for 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Trey Mills tried to split the difference there for that 3rd spot. Now he's going to go up top here. Side by side battle there for that 5th spot. That won't matter. Battle for the 2nd spot here. Side by side still Luke Rourke going at it there. Rourke and Casey side by side. Here comes Hunter. Here comes Mills as well. Joshua Koonsbeck also in the mix.
Rich out front, he is loving what he's seeing in his rearview mirror. He's got Rourke and Casey right now going at it, duking it, man. Then you got Austin and Koonsbeck along with Trey Mills. So Trey Mills got his hands full to try to get into this show. And without having to run the LCQ, he gets in the back bumper there of Austin. Austin's hanging on to that fourth place spot. Rourke right now, he's going to see if he can take second.
Battles are on here. Going to try for that second spot yet again. Battle still Hunter, Mills, and Koonsbeck. Those guys battling it out right now. And here comes Austin Hunter trying to throw his head in the ring for that third spot, held by Lucas Rourke right now. Rourke still going after Jordan Casey here. White flag in the air for Hunter Rudge.
One more time. Rich has been the man all night long. He's looking Rich out front, but the battle's going to be on for seconds. You got Casey, Rourke coming down the lane. They contact. That might open the door up here for Hunter. If he was a little bit closer, I think that might have helped him out. He's just not going to have the time, as old Rich is going to take it. Casey coming second, Rourke there in third. And on that last caution, so we're waiting here. Oh, Outlaw brother, he said he don't know what happened. That was actually him doing it, but he was actually petting his dog. So maybe his dog hit the, who knows. Let's grid it up. He raced 5. You got to love it, Wotel Series, man. Brent Evans, man, going to start out front. Scott Smith there in second. Logan Rumsey up in third. Matthew Watson fourth. Scott Neff there in fifth. Jason Korn sixth. Anthony Thompson up in seventh. Lakin Martin there in eighth. And Hunter Gaines in ninth. So don't hit the button no more, Outlaw. We'll be all right.
Come to conclusion, sometimes this is why we don't have nice things.
I know. Why did they delete the message out there, man, talking about going to the beach, man? What?
Right? But
Richard Murtaugh.
Rich Murtaugh just MIA. But
he was asking about YouTube earlier, so.
Pace truck is off. Green flag is out here. Brent Evans, Scott Smith going to lead in here. The 101 machine. Brent Evans with a great start goes to the bottom side here and blocks off the top 3.
Yes, it is. Evans looks strong, jumping out front. Rumsey there in second. You got Smith. Oh, go put it in the backside of him if he can. And that's going to open the door up for Watt. Watt's going to look down on the inside. Again, not seeing anybody dominate the inside. Now you see some guys trying to travel down there to see if maybe they can warm that thing up. Kind of going to the middle of the track. But, I mean, this has always been a high dominant style track. Not saying that inside lane won't come in.
Logan Rumsey in that second spot right now, but still has company there. Smith and Watts going at it for that third and final spot here, as here comes Smith now to the inside of Rumsey. Rumsey closing in there on Evans. You see Evans has some damage on that right quarter panel there, so he got into the wall, but now here comes Logan Rumsey. Rumsey going to try and sneak to the outside on Brent Evans. Caution flag in the air, though.
Hunter, looks like Hunter Gaines is the man that's going to go around this one. Let's see what happened to him in the back. He's there in the middle in that black machine, 58. If he had any help. Oh, yeah. Got a little help from the 20. That a little bump in the back. All right. Been some awesome heat races here. I mean, this track, remember a couple weeks ago, I think it was Knoxville. That track was real racy. Tonight, this track looks pretty racy also.
Big tracks have been producing well racing here, and I think these LCQs coming up here are going to be heavy hitting and phenomenal. I think Dylan Hauser is in one of those LCQs. Who else is in an LCQ? Austin Hunter, Trey Mills. So, these points guys are in here. James Braswell, Austin Sessions, guys who had great runs and are in the, top 10, top 15 in points, now have to run an LCQ here. So it's either going to be one of those weeks where you got to use a drop week or hopefully lock into the feature here so you can save those drop weeks.
No thing there too, Alex. Unless they're in different LCQs, man, it could be trouble because here the last couple weeks it's only been 2 cars going to the feature.
It's going to be interesting here. I think a lot of heavy-hitting moves will happen. Richard Murtaugh Jr. also in an LCQ here tonight. So heavy hitters and a lot of top guys in points. So this should get interesting. And I think, something bad could happen here. Not trying to jinx it here, but say Rumsey or Evans gets involved in something, that could cost them some points here, and they would have to run the LCQ as well, especially you're getting to that halfway point of the season next week. Race number 4 next week of 8. That's where everyone pressure is on. If you want to win a championship, you got to get on the horse now, or you might as well pack it up for the season. But pace truck is in. Green flag is out. 3 will pack it up and go to the A main. The rest will go to LCQs. Back out in front, it's Brent Evans, Logan Rumsey now. He's going to have company as Scott Smith going to the inside here on Rumsey side by side for your second spot. 3 wide behind him there for 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Later. Yeah, Evans right now out front. Rumsey, Smith, Watt, like you said, battles on for seconds. You got Smith right there trying to see if he can't get up underneath Rumsey. He's utilizing that low line. Meanwhile, they're 3 wide behind them, though, and that's helping out the top 3 as long as they stay 3 wide.
Rumsey slide job for the race lead. He clears him. Now Evans cut down. Battle for the race lead is on here. Evans and Rumsey going at it here. 2 laps to run in heat race number 5. Brent Evans out in front here. Logan Rumsey in the second spot. Scott Smith in third. And now here comes Smith trying to close in on Logan Rumsey and Evans. White flag in the air.
Absolutely. White flag one more time. Rumsey's got it. Man, look at that slide job move. Not seen it all night long. Does he lose enough momentum, though? As Evans says, hey, it looked beautiful, but I'm coming back on the inside. He's going to protect it out of 4. Final time. It's going to be Evans, Rumsey, Smith taking this one to the feature. Man, what a good one. What's up, Donnie? How you doing out there? Man, I tell you, maybe that's going to be the play of the race, that you're going to have to get that slide job at the right moment, at the right time. And let's look as we go to C main here, LCQ number 1. We look at the grid, and right now it just stands out at me. Richard Murtaugh Jr., Trey Mills, Dylan Hauser, Austin Sessions, those 4 names. I'm going to count anybody else out in this one. We got 15 cars in this one. Well, that's a big C main. But I don't know if 3 or 2 is going. As a matter of fact, this just told me top 4. So, okay. That might be a blessing right there, because normally you only see, the top 2, but 4. So that could put Hauser, Session, Mills, and Murtaugh. I mean, so there you go. That might be a saving grace. That is such a big LCQ that more drivers, which normally, and I know, Alex, it's only been 2.
So the only thing that changed from the first 2 weeks into this week here, 2 LCQs here instead of the 3, so 4 guys will make it on 10 laps of distance, 15 cars in each LCQ here, with the 4 moving on. The rest pack it up and either come back with supers or go to Bristol next week. We will find out who the first 4 are to lock into the feature here, because LCQ number 1 is Green Hauser Sessions underway. Contact Chaos in turn 4.
Chris Horn was involved in that one to begin with on the start, just kind of got bumped around. Let's go back and watch. I think Richard Murtaugh Jr., now he's got his hands full. Joshua Koonsbeck back there, too. Yeah, it doesn't look like he got it. And he just got pounded on the start. I mean, wow. What did Steve say? They were out there romping each other?
Riding and romping out there. I don't know. Something like that. That's what the great Steve McMillan would say.
They were talking about it beforehand. That's all I know.
But man, oh man, talk about chaos that starts early here. This is going to get interesting.
Yes.
2 LCQs, going to get good. Again, 15 cars. 14 made the call here out of the 15 scheduled to start. So 14, 4 are making it, 10 are going home. And now for guys like Dylan Hauser, Austin Sessions, even Justin Toll, they're smiling because this knocks off a lap that they don't have to run.
It does. Now, Richard Murtaugh might have benefited a little bit from that. He's up to 7. Trey Mills right there in 5th. Remember, top 4 go. And that actually might be a blessing for those guys, because normally with this one less LCQ this week that we've seen, it's usually only 2 drivers going to the top, to the feature. And but tonight, with it only being 2, now 4 get to go. So Murtaugh's got it. And I mean, I don't want to count out anybody else. I'm just looking at some of the names we normally don't see in LCQs. Hauser, Session, Mills, Murtaugh Jr. But we go back here getting set to go green. It is Hauser out front. Sessions right there in 2nd. Here we go.
So here we go. They head into turn 4 on a slow pace there. Dylan Hauser, I think, is methodically planning something here, because Pace Truck is going to stay on. caution lights back on the speedway here, as I just happened to see that. So lights are going to go out this time. We're going to try this again. Hauser, Sessions, your front row. Watts, Toll will be row number 2. Trey Mills going to start in that 5th spot, which is going to be on the outside looking in. So interesting to see there, as you see Rich Murtaugh said, car is messed up for Richard Murtaugh Jr. as, yep, that right quarter panel is bent in good. So if he makes it in, I'll tell you what, one thing he's gonna have to do is get that hammer out and beat it out a little bit here. But here we go. Pace truck is off. Green flag is back out in the air. LCQ number 1 is back underway.
And you got to look at that. Hauser said, I got to get out here clean and green, and he does. Look at this side by side. You've got Watt, Session, Mills, who is in an urgent mode. He's in that last transfer spot, but he's got Justin Toll there with him. They're 4 wide behind him. Richard Murtaugh Jr. says, damage or not, I'm trying to throw this thing. I got to get to the feature somehow, some way.
And here we go, 3 wide going on for that 3rd, 4th, and 5th spot there. I think that's Watt, Toll, and Mills going at it right there, as Trey Mills trying to make a run here for a transfer spot. Cars around, caution flag out yet again.
And this is going to be a 2-parter here. Yes, the initial caution happened with Chris Horn, but if we go back here and ride with I believe it was Anthony Thompson, he got just knocked around. And really, this is kind of what set this caution up. You can see him back there in the back, getting knocked around a little bit. They're back there 3 and 4 wide. I mean, it's just a lot of hard racing. Richard Murtaugh Jr. gets into him a little bit, but he's able to hang on and in there right there. That's what set that up with Chris Horn and company. Just kind of like a multiple incidents happening there that kind of set that one up in motion. Now, curious thing is, are they going to give the EOL to Murtaugh? Because realistically, Thompson didn't crash, just kind of got wiggly. It's all we leave that in the hands of race control. I don't even want to get into that, but if they do give it to him, Murtaugh's night's pretty much done. Facebook quality sucks. Well, YouTube, OSR Network. We've said it a couple times. OSR Network.
I can guarantee it's running on YouTube because I have it running on YouTube, my laptop.
Donnie's over here talking on YouTube, so we're on Facebook. I mean, you gotta look. I'm on 4 different things on Facebook. Four different things on Facebook really doesn't matter, but yeah, Facebook, I don't run it at a higher resolution as I do on YouTube, which because mostly people that are on Facebook watching on phones anyways. But anyways, back green, Hauser getting away, Sessions there in 2nd, Watts hanging on the 3rd, and our 4th and final transfer is Toll. Man, I'm telling you what, Trey Mills and Murtaugh's right there with him.
And yeah, keep an eye on that 4th and final transfer spot. Trey Mills right there. Richard Murtaugh Jr. Give it to Trey Mills there. He's on the top side here. He's going to make a run. He's going to get shot out of cannon, entering turn 1 and 2. Now into 3 and 4. Contact between Toll and Murtaugh there, as give that 4th spot to Trey Mills. Holding on right now. Murtaugh Jr. closing in as well here on Trey Mills. Matthew Watts, though, he is in that 3rd spot, and it looks to have some pressure coming with him here as Mills and Murtaugh closing in. Give Trey Mills a slide job there for the 3rd spot, trying to put a car between him and Richard Murtaugh Jr. as Richard Murtaugh Jr. on a mission here to get into the show.
And that is what Murtaugh wants to see. He wants to see Mills get in front of Watts because he doesn't want to get down to a battle between him and Trey Mills. Right now, Mills on the back bumper of that 3rd place man, Matthew Watts, as Watts trying to hang on to it the best he can. As meanwhile, up front, Austin Sessions has caught Dylan Hauser. That's a battle for the lead, but boy, back here, it's heating up. Trey Mills slide job on the inside, and it's going to be a crisscross over. Can Murtaugh get close enough to make something happen?
Mills, Murtaugh, and Toll going at it there for your third and fourth final transfer spots there. Here comes Richard Murtaugh Jr. now. Where is he going to go? Mills up top. Murtaugh goes up top as well. Toll going to try and throw a slide job there. White flag in the air. One more time. Dylan Hauser in that top spot still. He has battles, but now it's between Murtaugh Jr. and Toll for that fourth and final spot. They go into turn number 3 and 4. Toll going to go bottom side. So does Murtaugh. Contact being made. Both cars around. Who's going to take the fourth spot? And it's going to
Justin Toll.
Justin Toll
man.
taking
Alex,
home that
wow.
fourth spot. So Mills comes home in third. It's Hauser, Sessions, Mills, and Toll taking home your top 4 there. And going on to the feature event, Richard Murtaugh Jr. struck with chaos.
But I got to say, sportsman-wise, I got to give hats off. Richard Murtaugh Jr. knew once he got into the back of the car there of Watt, he was not going to make the show no matter what. That was his fault. So he stopped and did with it. So my hat's off to him there. Just heartbreak. 2 guys going for that spot. Heartbreak really for Watt because, he got took out of it. But B-main time, look at this field here because, again, we got some heavy hitter names. Top 4 should go again. Who we got? Braswell, Neff, Cochran, Bulk, Harrisman, Literal, Korn, Barry. Who's who in this one? But again, I gotta look at that last lap there. It's unfortunate on Watt's end, but he was blocking going down. He got to protect that lane, and then Richard Murtaugh Jr. He knew at the point once he got in the back of him, he just stopped, and then Justin Toll. Oh, there's a Red Seas parted. He said, "I'll take it."
So it looks, it comes down to battles for transfer spots, and guess what? This one, not a lot of points guys in this one as well. Austin Hunter, James Braswell up front, going to have to try and do some work here. JD Brown as well. Green flag is out, and here we go into turn 1 and 2 as already it's 2x2, almost 3 wide action into turn 1 and 2.
Good one so far, and we've seen some great LCQs. Old Luginas, he says, I'm out in this one, but Barry, Hunter, and 5 wide coming out of the turn for the moment. Caution out, though. What happened? Did the dog hit the key again? I didn't see a car go around.
Yeah,
Might have been Hunter Gaines. Let's go Hunter Gaines because it did pass. All right. Man, look at this. Yep. 5 wide right there. Watching Hunter here real quick. Oh, yeah, he just got in there and plowed in the back end of another car, and that move didn't work. Crazy events here happening.
So again, early caution in LCQ number 2, and the final LCQ of the night again. If you are joining us, 5 heat races tonight, but only 2 LCQs. Top 4 go on 10 laps the distance, and 40 laps the distance for the A main here tonight. So 40 laps, and then don't forget, just in a matter of moments after this race concludes, the Miller Family Trucking Super Late Models will be on tap here tonight. And don't forget, the real question is, who's going to dominate this feature event? And I forgot.
At this point, I don't know.
Evan C is not here tonight. So no 3 for 3 run for Evan C. So this is anyone's ball game here. And at the end of the night, for the time being, we will have a new points leader here.
Don't we? We got a couple weeks ago. We crowned champ.
Next week, we will be halfway. So next week is race 4.
Nice.
And then we will have, so right now, after tonight, we will have 5 races left in the season. Woo. So it's to get on the horse here. 8-race season. You got to get on the horse early. Don't forget, in a few weeks' time also, Super Late Model Speed Week returns to multiple tracks this season. And here we go. B-main action back underway here. Luginis, and then it's Hunter. Then it's Barry Braswell also right there as James Braswell Jr. trying to hold off Jason Corn, Corey Roberts. And there is also Darren Literal right there as well.
Wow, and they were all single file for the top 4, and all of a sudden somebody got in the wall, and now it's a traffic jam up front. Luginis, Hunter, Braswell, Barry, the top 4, but now they're battling it out. 3 wide for the lead, 3 wide here back for about 3rd place spot. You got Brown, Corn, Roberts.
So battles are on here for transfer spots. James Braswell Jr., he is holding on to that one spot. Actually, 3 wide there as Braswell tried to go for the race lead. And Tyler Berry now. It's Berry, Roberts, J.D. Brown also in the mix. J.D. Brown trying to go to the bottom side here. 3-4 wide make it. There is still about 6 to 5 cars actually battling out for that 4th and final transfer spot.
At this point, I don't know who's going to be in the race because it is flipping back and forth. They're shuffling the deck. So far, you've got Corn in 5th place. You've got Robert sitting in 4th, final transfer. They're knocking him around. J.D. Brown down on the wall. Meanwhile, Lagunas is out front. He's got Hunter on his back deck lid. Braswell's there. They are all nose to tail for the top 4 spots. The Corn's back here battling with a Arisman who just came out of nowhere. Again, Alex, wow, what a race.
Keep an eye, Jason Korn trying to close in here. Corey Roberts, he's in your 4th spot here. Jason Korn had to work his way back up to the 5th spot here, but a 4-car battle up front here, make it 5-car battle, and that's Braswell, Luganis, Hunter, Roberts, all right there. James Braswell Jr. was the race leader. Now Luganis back in front side by side. Now Austin Hunter battling for the race lead here as well.
Absolutely. Right now, you've got Hunter Braswell 3 wide for the lead. And boy, I tell you, you don't see this often when all these guys are in the show. But up top, Braswell knocks the wall down. I think that was Robert. Braswell's going to take the lead for the moment. 2 to go here. Who in the world is going to hold on to it? Because you got Lagunas now with Corn back here for the final transfer spot. And they're 3 wide behind him.
White flag is out. Braswell, Hunter, Roberts, Luganis, Corn, Arisman, Brown, all in the mix here. Side by side for your race lead as well for your final transfer spot. We're going to take this down here. Braswell around. Caution flag isn't going to wave. Here, contact chaos happens at the start-finish line. Braswell wins. Roberts, Hunter Luganis, and J.D. Brown takes the 4th and final transfer spot here tonight. And
say what?
I think the only definition for that finish was chaos, was pure chaos.
I'm sitting there like, huh? I mean, just that one came across. They wrecked in the front coming out of 4. They wrecked coming past the line to take the checker. That was a wild one there. Again, I hope y'all appreciate it. We got a little warm-up happening here. And these guys, man, are going to run this track. But let's listen to the sights and sounds here of these guys. And they might extend the warm-up, but we're gonna let you listen to the sights and sounds of them, watch them kind of warm this track up a little bit. Stay tuned. All right, feature time after those chaotic ones. And sorry about that. I wish I could go back and show you the replay on that finish. But as far as how SDK and the software works, is it once it flips over, I lose all the stuff to where I could go back. But it was wild. As we're going 40 laps here into the feature. Let's bring the grid up here real quick and see who we got. And the man out front on the pole, I'll tell you, has not had the best of qualifying, John Rosario Jr., but tonight, that's his best starting position tonight here, Alec.
it is going to be good, especially John Ruggiero Jr. on that pole.
Yeah, and you look, you got some guys in the back. Trey Mills starting back there in 20th, Dylan Hauser in 16. They got Austin Sessions 18. They got their work cut out for them. I mean, along with a lot of the other guys out here tonight. We've seen some guys be able to pass. We've seen guys be able to come through the field. So that's the thing. One thing I'm going to say is Ruggiero tonight will not be the hard charger. No 4 wide, by the way.
Oh, we getting right down to business. I like it. Here we go. Cars pulling out on to the speedway.
It is, and it's going to be a solid one here tonight. I mean, we've seen it all throughout. Anyone know how you get in the lead? Well, you better contact Wotel on Facebook. Get up with those guys, and those are the ones you need to talk to. But it's the Miller Family Trucking Wotel Series on Facebook. Just send them a message, and I know one of the admins or somebody will get back to you. I don't want to give out wrong info, but let one of those guys get back to you on how to get in. This right here, I will say, like the Pro Lates, you can get in. The next one we're showing at the top of the hour at 9 o'clock is the Super Lates. That's more of a invitational where you had to kind of prove yourself to get into. So this is where you start out the Pro Late. Green flag.
Pace truck is off. Here we go. 40 laps of distance. John Ruggiero Jr., Tanner Tomasi already get to work. Here we go. 3, 4 wide going into turn 1 and 2 here as now battle for the second spot. Contact. Let's make it 3 wide. Tanner Tomasi on the bottom side there of this battle for 3 wide. It's Tomasi. I want to say there's Brent Evans. He dropped back. So problems for Evans as that's Hunter Rich. Hunter Rich there in that second spot there. Brandon Gibbs as well. Blake Majulis there working his way up through his 4 wide into turn 3 and 4.
Yeah, 4 wide, like you said. You got Ruggiero out front leading this one. Rich, Gibbs, Tomasi, Barbera there in second, all looking strong. But this track can prove to show 4 and 5 wide racing. We've seen it before. Matter of fact, Brett had almost a heart attack one night calling it. He about fell out of his seat. It was awesome. 4 wide again coming out of the turn. Tomasi, Barbera, Majulis. Don't count him out. That guy knows how to get through the field.
Blake Majulis, again, remember last week had problems. Brent Evans right now, he's having some bad problems here. As remember, he started up in the front of this one, or at least he was in the front for a little bit there. But John Ruggiero Jr., he is out in front and in control. Then it is Hunter Rich, and then Brandon Gibbs, Chase Barbera, Blake Majulis. Keep an eye there. That battle for third heats up here as there is that 127 machine, the 101 of Brent Evans and Tanner Tomasi, all right there as well.
Back and forth, top lane, bottom lane, working pretty good. Ruggiero out front in this one. Rich trying to run him down. And it's an awesome race. Barbera, though, he's got his hands full with Blake Majulis. What a slide job move. He went from the bottom to the top. He said, I'm here, but Chase Barbera said, no, you're not, because I came right back around you in third.
Majulis, Barbera, that battle is on, and don't forget Brandon Gibbs is right there as well for that third spot. 3 wide, they will go. Majulis on the top side. Blake Majulis holds top side, holds his ground, and he will hold that 4 spot for the time being. But think about this, Barbera 8-3, Majulis 7-4 already. So these guys starting to move up through the field, and they came up quickly as we are only 8 laps in the book this time by here. John Ruggiero Jr. still out in front. Hunter Ridge, talk about a name that we weren't expecting up front here. He is in that second spot. Blake Majulis now gets by Barbera, and that slide job from Barbera, so that battle for third heats up.
You know, you talk about Rich. He dominated in his heat race to get here, and he looks good out front. Another guy, though, up 8 spots. That's Dylan Hauser, up 10 spots now. He's up to 6. He's moving and grooving down on the bottom side. Slide job move, so he is there. As you talk about Blake Majulis, he's cleared Barbera for that third place spot as there's chaos happening in the back. The 41's upside down. Caution is out. Dylan Hauser, well, we just talked about him. He was involved in that one. Are you kidding me? I think he was the first one involved in it. Let's see what happened. Yeah, oh, he got hit in the back, it looks like. And then he slowed up. They slowed up. And then the next thing you know, he got in the back with 41. He's around. Dylan Hauser's upside down doing a barrel roll. So that 10 spots up. Wow, just got wiped out. Unless they give him his spot back. But man, what a wild one.
So we will be 10 laps in of this 40-lap A main event here tonight. And what an exciting 10 laps it was there, man. John Ruggiero Jr. out in front still here. Hunter Rich in the second spot. Blake Majula 7-3 right now. And then Barbera 8-4. So talk about two guys who have moved through the field there. Again, Dylan Hauser 16th to 6th, but that's wiped here as well. 14th to 9th is Lucas Rourke. Remember Rourke last week? I'm pretty sure he went quick time, won his heat race, and then just fell off in the feature. Right now he's trying to prove that if he qualifies good, he falls off, but tonight wasn't the best qualifying effort for him. And look how far he has come up through the field here, and it looks like he might be battling for a top 10 spot here.
Looks like Hauser did get an EOL on that one, so I'm not quite sure. Again, we leave that in the hands of the officials here of the race, but just unfortunate because he came way up. Trey Mills up 7 spots back there, and up 8 spots up in the 12th place. And I'm saying he's up to 11, so they're going to give him 12th or 11th, either one. Either way, him and Austin Sessions trying to move up through the field. Blake Majulis right there along with it. John Ruggiero, though, is Delaware double foul restart. Alex, this has got to be the best race that he's had all season. Can he pull off the win tonight? Because he's been close, but he's had to battle from that back, and he's been a hard charger several times.
Talk about something here interesting to say the least. John Ruggiero Jr., 24 points behind Evan C., who is not here tonight. Dylan Hauser was 8 points behind Evan C., so Hauser, as of right now, for making the feature, I'm pretty sure Hauser would take the points lead, but with John Ruggiero Jr. in the race lead right now, that's going to be interesting here. Richard Murtaugh Jr., tough night for him as green flag is out. We'll talk more about the points if we have another caution here, but Ruggiero Jr. out in front here. Blake Majulis, he got to the start-finish line there before Rich, and now he's going to go for that second spot. Blake Majulis, Hunter Rich, side by side they go. Majulis on the top side, Rich on the bottom. Tanner Tomasi right there trying to split the odd.
Yeah, the good one there. I like what old man out there said. Let's go, Johnny Rugg. Right now, Ruggiero right now out front leading it. Majulis is sitting in second. Can he run the man down and get around him? Tomasi hanging on third. Everybody's top side dominant. Single foul. You go back to Rich in fourth, fifth place there with Chase Barbera. But here comes Blake Majulis. He's made the inside lane work all night long. Can he make a slide job work here? Because he's got enough time to get it done.
Majulis, remember we talked about him all season so far. 2 tough breaks in the Pro Late Models. Now tonight is redemption night for Blake Majulis, and what better place to do it than Eldora Speedway, where he has had multiple wins, but John Ruggiero Jr. is no easy task, to say the least, there for Majulis to get by. Blake Majulis also has company behind, as it's the 09 of Tanner Tomasi.
You look up front, that's a good battle, but back here around the 14th place spot, these guys, man, are like ants. They're all over the place. They're 3, 4, 2 wide back here. That's with Hauser, Smith, Rumsey, Evans and company. I mean, these guys know the urgency. We got to get up here with 25 to go. They're battling. They're 3 wide, slamming off each other, trading pain. It's some good racing back in the back. Meanwhile, Majulis is trying everything he can to get around Ruggiero for that top spot. Not been able to do it, but some racing all throughout this track.
And talk about Sessions and Mills. 18-8 and 20-9 is Trey Mills and Austin Sessions, and they're looking for more here as they go double slider here, trying to make a 2-for-1 pass. They will clear the sliders as now Sessions and Mills, those 2 cars making moves very quickly here in this A main event as we have yet to hit the halfway point.
Tough racing. I don't even know who's going to pull this thing off because, like you said, it's all over the place. As Ruggiero, the man out front with Majulis trying to track him down. He's about 3/10 ahead of him. Tomasi there in third. Meanwhile, watching this battle back in 8th with Gibbs, Sessions, Roberts, Mills. They are back and forth. Some go low, some go high. But you're right. Right now, the hard charger is going to be Austin Sessions, 11 spots. But you got Corey Roberts and Trey Mills up 10 spots. You got J.D. Brown up 9 spots. So you've got some guys coming through this field here, Alex.
Talk about Dylan Hauser, 16th to 12th now, as he's back up in that 12th spot after that caution. And there you see Brent Evans, who is trying to get something rolling here. Brent Evans not having the night that he wants to have here. He's going to have to get on his horse very quickly here if he wants a chance at a top 10 night.
Yeah, absolutely. Back here. Oh, Trey Mills is around. Are you kidding? He was able to hang on to it, but he got tagged in the back. Let's go back and watch it as caution flies. He's right there in that middle pack. He was a hard charger coming through the field. But that's just what happens when you get in those pack back there. You're back there hard racing. And that's just what I'm saying. We call it hard racing. A lot of these guys are going to be like, hey, man, the guy should have hit his brakes. Well, maybe. But still hard racing. Watch here. Trey Mills. Oh, he just got up into the 20. Oh, maybe a slide job going wrong. One guy tonight, though, Alex, man, is having a huge night. It's Rosario.
Yeah, it's not been a night for over half the top 5 in points. Let's be honest here. Dylan Hauser had the first caution of the night. Now Trey Mills with the second caution of the night in the feature event. Evan C. not in attendance. Richard Murtaugh Jr. not making the show here. So the best case scenario for John Ruggiero Jr. here is if he stays here, he's probably going to be the new points leader going into next Sunday at Bristol Motor Speedway. But Blake Majula is here trying to recoup two. He's in the second spot right now. Those 2 drop weeks are behind him. So the past 2 weeks are kaput. See you later. But if he finishes, first, second, third, every other week this week, Blake Majula still has a chance at a points championship here. Tanner Tomasi, Chase Barbera. Again, we're closing in on a halfway point. These guys need to get to work if they want a chance at that championship this year.
You talk about championships there, Alex. The man, Blake Majula, he is the top dog when it comes to super late models. Not quite sure what his record is here in the pro late models winning, but when it comes to the super lates, yeah, championships, that's his game. We'll see that later on, but we got to get through this here tonight. This is the dirtfan.com, Miller Family Trucking, man, Wotel series here for the pro lates, kicking off season 20. It's been a good one. John Rugg, I like how he said it out there, but John Ruggiero Jr. definitely would love to put this thing in victory lane because it would get that monkey off his back.
It looks like lights are still on the base truck, so we'll go a few more laps around here. As I think race control trying to figure out that whole chaos right now.
Yeah, Jerrio's going to get that Delaware double file restart. You got Tomasi Majulis back there, Rich, and the one thing we've seen about this track, very racy. Normally this is a top groove track, but we have seen the middle, bottom. We've seen 3 wide, 4 wide, 5 wide here. This track's wide enough for that. I think anybody can get it done from any position with the right slide job.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who throws the slide job. When do they throw the slide job? But Pace Truck getting ready to head off here. We'll be back to the green flag here. Out of turn number 4, John Ruggiero Jr. in charge of the field. And green flag is out here. Blake Majulis with a great start in the second spot, trying to hold off Rich. But look at this, 4 wide to the start-finish line, mid-pack there. So battles throughout here is, again, 3, 4 wide going at it into turn 1 and 2. Blake Majulis closing in here on John Ruggiero Jr. Contact in the mid-pack there. They all keep it going, though, so we stay green.
Absolutely. They were 5 wide at one point back here. Gibbs, Casey, Hauser, Session, Rich, Barbera, Tomasi battle for the lead. Blake Majulis says, look, you look good, Rosario, but man, I want that top spot. I need to win. He's going to throw a slide job on his inside. Is it going to stick? Here comes John, man, back on the inside. He's going to take it back to him again in turn 1. They're going to play the do-si-do game.
And a big slide job there for a 4th spot, as that was a big pass. I think he passed 3, 4 cars there on that slide job, but battle still in the race lead here as that race leader now gets past John Ruggiero Jr. on the top side, shot out of a cannon there midway through 3 and 4, but now into the wall there, and now Majulis, and here comes Tanner Tomasi. Caution flag will wave as contact and chaos in turn 1 and 2. But Tanner Tomasi, they're going to make this very interesting between Ruggiero Jr., Majulis, Tomasi. That top 3 going to get very good to watch.
And it looks like right here, we're watching it back. It was Hunter Langus got up into the wall, and then next thing he's dead turtle on the track. Just got turned upside down. But you're right, that battle up front between them, and obviously Ruggiero probably dodged a bullet there. Is going to be able to get back out front and get his position, because in dirt racing, unless you here's the ruling on it. If you pass a guy, you have to make a complete lap before the caution comes out. If the caution comes out during the lap that you pass, you have to give the position back, which is sometimes kind of like, you got to be kidding. It's crazy. But Darrow likes it. Out front, Majulis, he knows he's got the car to pass him. Tomasi, though, is going, guys, you get up there and start battling some more. I got a car that's going to get up here and make it interesting.
So here we go. Ruggiero Jr., Blake Majulis, Tanner Tomasi, Hunter Rich, Jordan Casey, all cars in there. Dylan Hauser making moves as well. It's going to be time to saddle up, boys. We're over halfway to go. Pace truck is in. Green flag is back out. John Ruggiero Jr. leads us back to the green flag. 3 wide for that second spot as Hunter Rich tries to make a move here. Now 3 wide for the race lead. Ruggiero Jr., Blake Majulis, and Hunter Rich going at it. Now here comes Majulis to the inside there on Tomasi. Side by side. Now double slide job there for Majulis for the race lead. Not going to clear it though as Ruggiero. Yeah, that I just messed that name up badly there for a guy who says it a lot, but he ducks underneath there. So battle for the race lead already. They got hot and heavy real quick.
Yeah, forget about it. I say his name wrong all the time, but look at Tomasi. He wants that thing, but man, where did Rich come from? He came through that field, and you got Blake Majulis trying to see if he can't hound down on that bottom side, see if he can't get something going. John's back up on that top end, leading it again. Tomasi falls back to third. Casey there in fourth. Dylan Hauser, are you kidding? Up 10 spots. That man's got into a wreck earlier. He's taking it 4 wide. He's taking 5th place. He says, don't count me out. And what do I say every week? Steve loves me when I say it. Whose house? Hauser's house.
Dylan Hauser making a run here for a top 5 here tonight, and he must have heard what I said about if he has a bad night. Ruggiero Jr. right now could take the points lead. Dylan Hauser said not tonight on his terms. He is battling it out for a top 5 spot, but John Ruggiero Jr. trying to hold off Blake Majulis as Majulis goes to the bottom side. You know what's next. It's a slide job for the race lead there again. Ruggiero Jr. ducks underneath. Here's Tanner Tomasi right behind Jordan Casey. Talk about Jordan Casey, 9-4, and he came out of nowhere to that 4th spot.
Absolutely, and you're talking about, I know you're out there asking yourself, can they do this for 10 more laps? You better believe it. You got Blake Majulis up there doing slide jobs, one of the best in the business. He is one of iRacing's world champs out here. Then you got Ruggiero. He definitely could be. He's one of the best. Tomasi, Casey, Hauser, all the top 5. You got Sessions moving it up in there. As far as hard charges, that's going to be between Hauser and Sessions. They are both up 11 and 12 spots at the meantime, but boy, out front, Blake Majulis, he is trying that inside lane. The thing about the inside lane, he might have it this time, though, is he can't keep the momentum, but I think he's got it now.
But there goes Tanner Tomasi now. Going to try a 2-for-1 slider, but he holds the middle side there, and he drops back into the 3rd spot. But Jordan Casey now, he closes in. He's going to go to the bottom side here. He's going to try to throw a slide job. Not going to clear it as Tomasi gets to the outside yet again. So top 4 battling it out, pulling away from Dylan Hauser and Austin Sessions right now. They're battling it out here. But man, oh man, we're closing in on 5 to run next time by. Majulis, Ruggiero Jr., Tomasi, Jordan Casey, all right there in striking distance of each other. Who's going to win this race?
I was about to say, does John have anything for Blake Majulis? And he did. And the problem is he tapped that wall up there. But look at him. He is driving against the wall, driving on the outside. He takes a 2-for-1 special here. Going to clamber down on the inside again. Ruggiero, Tomasi, they're battling it. Blake Majulis is loving it because he knows the laps are winding down, and the further away he can get, he loves that because that gives him a little bit of cushion, and that cushion now is a 2nd.
John Ruggiero Jr. still trying to hold his own here. It's Ruggiero, Casey, and Tomasi going at it there as now they both go a double slider there on Ruggiero to take 2nd and 3rd away from John Ruggiero Jr. He goes to the inside now on Casey. He's going to hold the bottom side here, try and keep it. Casey, talk about running the top side well. Casey and Ruggiero Jr. side by side, 2 laps to go this time by.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ruggiero's thinking to himself, where did these guys come from? I had this thing in the bag. Next thing you know, a couple caution, and I'm in the mix back here battling for my life for 3rd and 4th place. Meanwhile, Blake Majulis is walking away in the sunset with this one. He has come from the way bad races in the last couple ones to maybe coming out here winning something and keeping that streak, man, alive to hopefully get another championship as Tomasi's battling it out with Casey. Them 2 guys are going at each other, man, left and right.
Final corner, taking home the first win of the season for the 127 machine. That is Blake Majulis. Drag race to the line. Tanner Tomasi in 2nd. Jordan Casey going to come home 9-3 for that final podium spot. John Ruggiero Jr., who ran a great race at last restart, cost him Ruggiero Jr. in 4th. Dylan Hauser 16 to 5th to round out the top 5. Austin Sessions in 6th. And it is Logan Rumsey, Hunter Rich, Corey Roberts, That is going to finish 9th. And then Scott Smith in 10th. Chase Barbera 11th. Trey Mills 20th to 12th. Not a bad run for that machine. Tyson Ulecki in 13th. Brandon Gibbs, Justin Toll, that's your top 15. And then it's James Bradwell Jr., Logan Brass, Michael Blessing, Lucas Rourke, Brent Evans, J.D. Brown, Hunter Luganis, Dylan Wilson. Tough break for Wilson there, as Wilson will not be able to make the start tonight, as he didn't make the start, so he does not. He comes home in the unofficial 23rd spot. So tough break there for some of these guys, but Blake Majulis, first win of the year for the 127.
Absolutely, and he did an outstanding job. Had to beat one of the best out there, too, to get this thing done. So that was awesome to see in his own right. Like you said, just looking at that results order. Nice run here tonight. Blake Majulis bringing it home. Whew, we got to catch our breath on that one. But Austin Sessions, the hard charger here tonight, doing what he needed to do. Let's bring up the second place man, Tomasi. Let's get a word with him.
So coming home in the 3rd spot, Tanner Tomasi. Talk about fighting your way through tonight, man. It's been a fun night, especially watching you run, and coming home on the podium after all that work has to feel a little bit rewarding.
Yeah, that was definitely a hell of a race. Be able to bring home a P2 during that was, really exciting. Especially we came in here pretty unprepared. We didn't even practice for this, so we just threw in our setup off the website, and it was really good just from the drop. And like I said, it's just such a fine line running the top up there. There's not really a cushion to grab you in 1 and 2, so it was just kind of hanging around and letting those two race while I figured out where to run.
And we always got to talk, especially that last restart there. It was a great run. Casey, Majulis, you, Ruggiero Jr., all 4 of you battling it out. Any one of you had the chance to win it there, but consistency is key, and some timely slide jobs there by you got you a podium spot tonight.
Yeah, I really do think we would have been able to track down Majulis if we weren't racing the way we were. We pulled away running second and pulled away for that little bit of time that we had, especially, with Ruggiero, Casey, and I, we were racing so hard, it just allowed Majulis to get away from us. But it was a phenomenal race, dude. I wouldn't have changed anything.
We know you got a lot of great sponsors and support, so take some time and thank them for helping you get here tonight.
Yeah, man. First of all, I really want to thank Bill Miller Family Trucking. He helped me out a lot. He sponsored me and helps me get into these big league races, and I wouldn't be running this league if it wasn't for him. 1-3 Design, Speed Ranch Shocks, Matthew Logan, Shock iRacing Performance, Flow Racing, Zach Trunkhill over there. Really appreciate them coming along board. Speed Ranch East Setups, Nick Baum Racing, Leadbetter Performance, Lane Smith, C4 Edits, RTR Material, Jesse Hoke over there, and everything you guys do for the broadcast, Steve and them putting on this league for us.
That is Tanner Tomasi, who comes home on the podium tonight. And Joe, I think you're with our 2nd place finisher.
This second place you were talking.
3rd place. Yeah.
3rd place. Yeah, Jordan Casey. We'll bring him up, get a word with him. Jordan, join the booth. Got a copy.
Yeah.
Well, what a night and what a wild race. I mean, you had to battle to get to that 3rd place spot. I mean, what was going through your mind when you saw them guys 2 and 3 wide at times?
Yeah, I mean, I just tried to run my own line and then just see if they made any mistakes and I could capitalize, I guess. But I mean, it was just everybody was so fast up there that it was hard to pass them. And then Blake got by, and then we started racing hard, and Blake was able to drive away, so it was done from there.
Awesome race. Now, what did you think was good? The top lane, or the low lane?
I did not go to the bottom. I felt like I was best in the middle in 1 and 2, just a lane off the top, and then top and 3 and 4, just because you keep your momentum up so much. But I see Blake and them guys were able to use the bottom, and I just didn't feel comfortable down there. I didn't turn any laps really in these cars before the night, so I was just going to stick to the top, stick to what I know.
We had a bad, fast, hot rod. You came home 3rd tonight. You got anybody you want to thank for a good finish?
Yeah, everybody had a D1RT, good run to Johnny and Tomasi, and good win to Blake. Thank you guys for broadcasting, and everybody at Wotel for putting this on. Pretty cool.
Yeah, that's the third place man, Jordan Casey. Well, let's bring up the hard charger here so you can get a word with him. This guy, one position there. It was between him and Hauser all night long, but man, what a dig here. 12 spots. Austin Sessions, bring him up here and let's get a word with him, Alex.
Hard charger for the night, Austin Sessions. We talked about you being a contender here tonight. You had to run through an LCQ, but it didn't matter. Coming home in the top 10, I think even a top 5 finish there. But talk about the speed you found early on, because you made some moves very quickly in this feature event.
Yeah, early on, I just ran the bottom. I did that in the LCQ, and it was working, and so I just tried it, and it kind of moved up. Everybody was bouncing off the top, hitting each other and all that.
Well, then it came down you versus Hauser for the hard charger, yet alone for another position there, and you guys put on a show in that mid-pack there. Talk about that last restart, because I know there's a lot of thoughts going through everyone's heads there, especially the top 10, because everyone had a chance to make some more passes before the end of this race.
Yeah, during the restart, I wanted to be on the top. 1 and 2 on top was rolling, same with 3 and 4. And me being on the bottom, it let Rumsey kind of get in the picture with us, and I was just trying to maintain speed, traction, not get too sideways down there, and at least leave him some room so we don't wreck each other out.
We know you got a lot of sponsors and a lot of help getting you this speed, so take some time and thank them here tonight.
Yeah, first of all, I want to thank Blake Majulis and Evan C. over there at Majulis Safe Speed Shop. I want to thank Team CFM, Chris Ferguson, all the help they do with me. They mean a lot, and everything they do for us. I mean, it shows we're getting faster and faster every day. I want to thank Nick Leonard. He's the one that kind of got me over here, and I just have a lot of appreciation for everybody on that team.
Well, that is tonight's hard charger of Austin Sessions. And Joe, it's time to talk to someone who we haven't talked to in Victory Lane at all this year.
Amazing.
That's a 127 machine from the great state of New York, Blake Majulis.
Blake, Joanne Booth Cup.
Yes, sir, I got you.
Like Alex said, we haven't got to talk to you all season long, and that's kind of unusual because you've just found the worst possible ways of getting in trouble this year, I guess. But tonight, that all turned. You got out front, but you got to take us through getting there. I mean, what was going through your mind? Did you think is going to get around old Ruggiero out there?
Yeah, I thought I was gonna. It was very difficult at the beginning. I couldn't get any track position early, and then I finally got the bottom to work, got some spots up, and then yellows weren't falling in my favor. Just needed some long rounds to get going, and every time the yellow would come out, it just took me forever to get going. So just fortunate to get the lead there and pull away.
Yeah, and again, I mean, we know you've got the talent, you got the speed, the car to get it done. That's no question about it. It's some of the best of the best. But on this track, it looked like the top lane was dominant, but you was using that low lane. I mean, was you worried when you were throwing those slide jobs? I mean, what was going through you there when you was doing that?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I couldn't get any momentum built up for. I needed the high ground, so.
Man, I tell you
when
what,
you have no momentum, but it was good enough to get it going and get the lead there.
Oh man, and again, like I said, masterful way of getting up there. We've seen you do it 100 times. Man, you put it in victory lane, got that monkey off your back. You got anybody you want to thank for a good win?
Majulis Safe Speed Shop, Evan C. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here. Race XR, WR1 Sim Chassis, CFM Esports, all my guys over there. Represent Limited, Reliable Energy Solutions, Design 75, and Steve for the league.
There you go. That's Blake Majulis, one of the best in the business. Move my own self out of the booth here. One of the best in the business. There, Blake Majulis getting it done. And well, Alex, what a first one here. Half to kind of kick it off. We're going into the next one here. The Miller Family Trucking, super late models. We're going to see some more of them bad boys out there. But what a race!
What a race indeed, and just next week is halfway point for these pro late models. The last great Coliseum of Bristol Motor Speedway. Points racing now about to heat up here as we get to the halfway point of the season here. Blake Majulis visits Victory Lane for the first time this year. John Ruggiero Jr. builds on some momentum. And for Dylan Hauser, Trey Mills, and Richard Murtaugh Jr., it's time to regroup and get ready for super late models and then Bristol next week as well.
Well, like you said, don't go anywhere. Top of the hour, we got some super late models coming to you. But for myself and everyone here at Wotel, y'all have a good night.